Hi, and welcome to today's free pick a card reading. My name is Cassie, and I am the reader behind MomentsAre. We post free pick a card readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That said, let's go ahead and look at our topic for today. So for today, our topic is, what does he or she need to hear right now? You know how sometimes we can have different problems or different areas where we might be stuck, and we need a solution, or we need some support, or it's like, this is what you can do to be more supportive. Plus, we're going to also look at a little bit of the energy dynamics regarding, why this is important to say to this person or to communicate to this person somehow. Because, we can talk without necessarily using words, I'm sure. I'm sure everybody who's watching this is very familiar with that. What does he or she need to hear right now? This is meant to be a love reading, so think about your person, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your spouse, somebody you have a crush on, somebody you've been dating, or someone you're interested in. Just, think about them and pick a pile. I'm going to go ahead and label the piles now. So pile number 1 is the pink butterfly. Pile number 2 is the blue butterfly. Pile number 3 is the purple butterfly. Pile number 4 is the white butterfly. Pile number 5 is the red butterfly. And pile number 6 is the green butterfly. So, as you guys are picking which pile you're going to choose for your reading, I do want to say everything you need to know about me is going to be in that description, and that includes the timestamps for each pile. Alright guys? Okay, so if you haven't picked a pile yet, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, we are going to start with pile number 1. Okay, so I'm like really excited about posting videos again, and we're experimenting a little bit with the timing, which is why this video is going up at a different time than Wednesdays. But by Monday, I think we're going to be able to start posting at a regular time, and all of the videos will just be uploaded at the same time, okay? All right. So, hi, pile number 1, the pink butterfly. What does your person need to hear? Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands, the 4 of Swords, and the Tower. Okay, so we've got Fill the Well. Okay, this is like the guidance card, okay? And we have the first chakra, the Archangel Michael, okay? I just want to go ahead and say a disclaimer about this particular deck. It is Christian-oriented, but I read with it because it's very accurate for me, okay? I'm not trying to push any religion on anybody. So, that said, let's look at your person, okay? The Tower comes up. Most people get a little anxious when they see it, right? When you've got somebody, you've got your person, it's like they've finished something, they've completed something, and it's almost like this thing that they've been working on is almost like a burden for them, okay? And it's kind of hard to manage. It seems larger than they are at this point. It's almost like it's taken on its own, like, it's almost like this idea or this situation that they're in is bigger than they are, or at least they feel like it is. And I feel like the Tower moment here, and this should be resonating with at least 90% of the people who pick this pile, is representing something that already happened. With the rest of you guys, it's going to be representing something that they're anticipating is going to happen, okay? Like something they know. I mean, this is a known thing, okay? This is not something that is unseen. And it's like, with the 4 of Swords, this is about taking a rest from our thoughts, trying to kind of gather our thoughts and all of that. We've got the figure and this card gathering together, the wands, and on this card, somebody that's resting, trying to kind of connect with the unconscious here underneath them, while also being aware of, the different you know, the different ideas and anxieties that they have, you know, in conscious waking life, okay? So your person basically is going through some times, okay? But the issue with them is that it feels out of control right now. It's not out of control, but it feels that way to this person, okay? This could be your relationship, or it could be some, you know, other independent factor that's just happening in their life, okay? So what they need right here, because it's so chaotic and everything, is that they need to be able to get more rest, but not in a way where they're avoiding the situation, in a way where they're getting restorative rest, and then they're ready to kind of go back at it and just work through what they're going through, right? So when we've got the first chakra coming up, we're talking about the very, very basic needs, okay? This person is probably not eating very well. They're probably not sleeping regularly, or they're keeping, you know, maybe strange hours. Maybe they're sick, okay? This indicates that there's something, like, on a very basic level that the person's having issues with, okay? This is kind of like animal instinct, so it also reminds me of a person that might be going through some anxiety issues, because the way that the brain has developed is that the kind of animal instincts that are associated with basic survival is part of the part of the brain that animals have. Very limbic, basically, for those of you who know about the brain. It's you know, just look up the limbic system. It's really not that hard. I mean, it really is. And I kind of have a peeve because people try to make the human brain seems so difficult to understand, but it's really not, okay? It's really easy. You know, there's basically the part of the brain that has to do with emotions and, you know, this kind of stuff, and then the part of the brain that's the executive functioning, you know, area where, you know, people think and make wise decisions and all of that kind of stuff, right? Okay, so my little rant aside, this person is basically feeling like they're not getting their basic needs met, or they're not filling their own basic needs very well, you know? It could be, like, for example, with the resting, it could be that it's not even their fault, you know? It could be that maybe they're having insomnia or something like that, okay? And the resting is just such a good example, you know? Obviously, sleep is a basic need. It's a basic human need. It's on a primal level. Just like the need to eat, you know? The need to kind of move around, the need to do, you know, that kind of stuff. So we're talking very, very base levels. This feels so big that they feel like they can't even take care of the very basic levels for them. So they're feeling really overwhelmed. What you can tell them, fill the well, okay? Now, this is kind of a this can kind of be a dangerous thing. And so let me explain. You don't want to attempt to take care of their problems for them too much, or else they'll become reliant on you to do that, and they'll just expect it. And it's like, that's not what's going to get this person through this. What's going to get them through this is that they need to be able to kind of reorient themselves to the new situation and be able to kind of figure out what the new normal is, right? So, you know, they need to be able to repeatedly, consistently give to themselves what they need on that core level. But in the meantime, what you can do, what you can say is, how can I help? Is there anything I can help you with? Or you know, let me get that for you, or stuff like that. Now, you don't necessarily have to be over eager, you know, like, oh, what can I do? Can I help you? Can I do something now? What about now? It doesn't have to be like that. You can, I mean, what they need filling is going to be specific to them. The idea is that there is a deficit in this person's life, and it's like they just need that. Okay, the deficit might have to do with emotional attention, it might have to do with self-esteem, it might have to do with something as simple as, hey, I'll take the kids, we'll leave the house, you can get in a good nap, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it's just something where it's like they're lacking and they just need more of it. So it's not like you can be like, okay, I'm gonna like put your thumbs over their eyes and be like, okay, I'm gonna make you sleep right now. And I'm just using that one. I'm not saying that that's what they need. I'm using that one because I keep looking at this card and I'm thinking about sleeping. Okay, maybe I'm tired and I don't realize it, but it's just such a good example in the situation. But it could be something as simple as eating healthier, or I mean, it could be anything, you know, but it's just that they feel that they have a deficit somewhere, okay? And it has to do with basic survival, okay? It has to do with something that they're very anxious about, they're feeling overwhelmed by. What you can do is take care of some of the things for them, or you could just be there for them to be a sense of support for them, you know? You don't have to do too much. But you just need to kind of teach them how to take care of themselves again, right? Another way you can do this is by example. If it's really awkward to be like, okay, I'm really not comfortable with the idea of going up to this person and being like, how can I help you? Or going up to this person and be like, I just want you to know I'm there for you, or whatever. You know, just model whatever behavior you detect that they need to bring more of into their life, and that way you can teach them that it's okay to do that, right? So let's just go back to the sleep one, because it's the best example that I can think of. You know, for example, you might want to, tell them if that's their issue, oh, I got a nice nap in the other day. I don't usually nap, but I just need that extra energy, and it was great, or something like that. Something that's true, obviously. I'm not telling you guys to lie, but something, something that lets them know that, you take care of yourself in that area. It can kind of help them to understand ways that they can take care of themselves as well. I personally, in that example, I like to diffuse essential oils because they actually help me to relax. And that's going to work for some people and not work for others, but it's just an example of something a person could say. Now again, it doesn't have to be sleep. It could be something like they're stuck in a rut. They're not getting the things done that they need to get done. It could be that they is just so upset because they always went to the same restaurant every day for lunch, and now the restaurant's closed and they have no idea what they're going to eat, and they're being so indecisive that they can't even eat. It could be something really silly, or it could be something, not that that's silly. Some people really are big on their routines, but it's, it could be something very lighthearted, or it could be something, more serious. It's just going to be specific to your person, okay? But they're just feeling overwhelmed. They just need some support, maybe some help, and just model the behavior for them. Okay, guys? All right. Hi, pile number 2. Those of you who picked the blue butterfly, here is what your person needs. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got the 3 of Cups. We have the 10 of Cups, which I like to call the Happily Ever After card, and the Lovers. Okay. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so we also have this energy of like walking away from something that no longer serves them anymore, that's a really interesting thing to come through. And then we have Just Laugh. Okay, so this is very obviously about pleasure, about happiness, is about human connection. Okay, so this person needs to feel more connected to the people they really care about right now. Now, when you've got, you know, this is the first card that came up. It's the Three of Cups. It's highly associated with celebration, with friendship, you know, and that kind of thing. And that's the way I read this card, okay? Celebration, you know, kind of having this happy ending. And, you know, with the Lovers, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be physical, okay? It can be more that, you know, the two of you are kind of two halves to a whole, right? And that you guys are just kind of coming together in a more meaningful way, okay? And that's what's going to help them. I would imagine that, like, with this card and with the Just Laugh card, it's like they're trying to have fun, you know? So they might be, and it might be a little bit awkward for them because it looks like, you know, they're shifting from one perspective to the next. And all they need is for you to just laugh, you know, when they're trying to be funny. Or, you know, laughter is also indicative of having a good time. So, you know, they just need ideas on what they could do, what's going on in the community, what they can do to have a good time. It doesn't necessarily even have to be like an extroverted type activity. It could even be something simple like, hey, you know, a new book just came out and I really like it, or did you see this new show, or you know, whatever it is, you know, just a way that that person specifically has fun, okay? I feel like this person's trying to be a little bit more playful though, and maybe you're more on the serious side, and that they're and they it's almost like you're talking past one another sometimes, but ultimately you guys are really close. You guys are, this person's not going anywhere in your life, okay? No matter what level the relationship is on, this person considers you somebody that they're close with, and they consider you as someone that they have a lot of fun with. It's like, at this point, it's kind of like they can't really imagine their life without you, okay? So, and that's good. That is a really good place to be, you know? You know, I see a lot of times people are in a situation where they can be really close friends with somebody that they're interested in, but there's some kind of boundary or some kind of line that can't be crossed yet, you know, in order for it to come together and turn into, you know, a more romantic thing. Just understand the better of a friend that you can be, the better of a companion you can be. And this could apply to people who are already married and stuff like that, okay? It's just about camaraderie, you know, just having some fun, you know, kind of painting a picture for a happier future, and, you know, recognizing that the two of you are, you know, you're kind of stuck with each other for a while here. This walking away, I really think that this particular card I got to let you know the energy of the situation, what's on their mind, okay? This is the advice card, and this is, you know, what the answer is to what does he or she need to hear right now. I feel like the person is trying to move past something that's kind of got them down, and it's not like, I don't feel like they're avoiding it. I just feel like they're trying to leave negativity in the past, and it's like they want to bring more positivity, more playfulness and stuff like that to your relationship and just to their life in general. And that's another factor, you know. It's like they just need to get rid of what isn't serving them anymore in this particular situation. So that said, basically what your person needs to hear right now is that, you know, you have fun with them. You think that they are great to be, you know, it's really great to be around them. You know, they need to just, you know, if they make a joke, just laugh about it, you know, that kind of stuff. And not to take things too seriously right now, because it's like they've got some stuff in their life right now that's very heavy, that, you know, where it is appropriate to be serious, and it's like they need that more playful place with you, so that they can kind of it's like, so that they can kind of like calm down and not have to think about things as much, so they can then return to whatever it is that they're trying to get past it. I mean, in order to get past it, they have to confront it and take care of it. It's like that. So, yeah, just have fun. Let them know that you're having fun with them. You know, you don't necessarily have to open up an email and be like, I have fun with you and you make me laugh. You know, it doesn't have to be like that. It's just, incorporate laughter into when you're around the person. Incorporate, the community or coming together, intimacy, mental, emotional, whatever, in whatever way it manifests. It could be physical, right? And just, really enjoy that this person's in your life. That's what they need from you right now. All right, guys, this is a good one. Okay, hi, pile number 3. Those of you who picked the purple butterfly. Okay, this is a really interesting one. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords, we have Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords, okay? We have connect with your soul family. This is the advice. This is answering the question for us. And then this is kind of like what's on their mind. We've got the Magician in the mirror. And I want you to see in this card that this, that we've got the blue like ice, and then we've got the fire right here, okay? Or water and fire, right? And it's like, and then we're talking about reflecting, and reflections are mirror images. Water and fire, tend to be thought of as opposites. When it comes to the elements, we're talking about duality. We're talking about when people are holding two opposing ideas in their mind or in their heart, and what, that is causing them to then not only see things from a different perspective, from a completely different perspective, but it's also helping them change. Okay, so they're in a place of change. Something ended, and it ended badly. This could have been like 3 days ago, or it could have been 3 years ago, but this is what's behind it. Okay, what's behind it is that something ended for them, and it ended badly, and that's coloring their behavior. Okay. They want to move forward, but they're just going slow, okay? And what they need is what they need to hear is that it's okay. They can go at their own pace, and that's okay. What they need from you, what they need to hear is conversations about ideas, interesting ideas that you have, or, there's some people that just kind of get lost on Wikipedia, right? It's kind of like that. It's like they're just looking for new ideas. They're looking for, something to replace this negativity with, basically. They need to get recharged from this, okay? You are probably a person that they find very intellectually stimulating. Which is awesome. And it's interesting because when we've got the Queen of Swords, we've got the femininity there right with the thinking, which is represented by the sword. So we do have that duality of emotion, our more nurturing energy, as well as as well as more I want to say like objective thought, but basically yin and yang. We've got the Magician in the mirror with the ice and the fire. So we're talking about balance. This person needs to feel balanced. You're actually doing things that you already need. This person already needs. So I would just say more of the same. They connect with your soul family. This person might be right now kind of disconnected from some of the people that have been like meant something, to them in their life. It could be because of an actual death. Okay, I do want to mention that, but it's like they need to be able to kind of connect with that energy, either by spending time with the person, spending time talking about the person, or spending time kind of working through any issues they might have with that person, okay? And, you know, when we talk about soul families, we're talking about, you know, people that we have pleasant relationships with. So this wouldn't be whoever hurt, you know, whoever might have hurt them or whatever, you know, negativity. I mean, the negativity could have been that somebody passed away and they're still struggling with that. But that's just one scenario. I'm not saying that, I don't even think that most of you are going to identify with that, okay? I just want to make sure that you know that, you know, it's a little bit more complicated than that. But, you know, the connection with your soul family is more about finding those people that just click, you know? And so if you hear them talking about, you know, oh, when I was younger and me and this gal or me and this guy, you know, used to do these things, say, you know, well, when was the last time you talked to that person, you know, and all of that? Have you considered reaching out to them, you know? And it's just something simple like that, you know? Now, it can get tricky if you're in a situation where you're dating or you're in a relationship and it's not yet gotten to that point where you're feeling real confident, because it could sound like jealousy. So be aware of that. But just encourage them to explore, even if it's internally and it's not even, you know, actually physically with a person, explore the dynamics of their relationship with the people who they're close with, and what makes that relationship special. You could even just start a conversation with, like, you know, so those special people in your life, what is it that stands out about them that makes them special to you, you know? And that could just generate a really good conversation that they just need to have, because they just need to reflect on this, you know? I mean, we've got the mirror reflecting, right? That said, I mean, it's very simple, very straightforward. The only thing I can say, as far as any indicator of what is going to happen or what will happen or, you know, anything like that, is just that this person needs to move slow right now. I feel like at least compared to the other readings that I've done, up until this point, I feel like this is much, much more simple to take care of than the other two. So you guys have a very easy, I mean, this is an easy way. This is an easy situation, you know, because what they need is something that you're already doing. All right, guys? Okay. Hi, pile number 3. Those of you who picked the white butterfly, here is your reading. Okay, so we have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Cups. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. It's interesting. Okay. We have a lend a hand. Okay. And we have anxiety. So, just so you know, this is the kind of energy and, you know, what's going on in their mind and their heart and all of that. This is your advice card, and these are the cards that kind of elaborate a little bit more on the situation. What I think is really interesting is we've got a progression. We've got the 6 and then we've got the 7, right? But in the middle, we've got this kind of like very sorrowful card. So what this tells me is your person might be somebody you know from work. I'm not saying that that's going to be true for all of you, but I bet most of you, it will be true. And, we've got this balancing act here of like, you know, maybe this person might be struggling with money, or maybe they're a person that wants to help other people that are struggling with money. This can depict a loss, but I feel like what it is that they're so focused on something that's causing them anxiety. They're so focused on something that they need to get right. Okay, they need to just kind of sort it out. That they're unable to hear or see or acknowledge or even be aware of the idea that there's other stuff going on that also needs their attention, okay? I don't feel like they're doing this in a way that's intentional. I mean, if you're in a situation where you feel like your person might be avoiding you, or you feel like your person might be very distant right now, they're not even aware that they're being that way. They're kind of clueless about that. Either that, or they're aware of it, but they're choosing to focus on whatever it is over here that they, you know, that they are just thinking about real hard. And then we've got, I mean, just look at this the picture of this person, you know, they've stopped in the middle of work and they're just like reflecting. You know, it's like they don't even have their mind on their job. And the sevens tend to be cards where it's like you've got to make some decisions. You've got to kind of figure out, well, where am I going to go from here, right? So I think that one scenario that might ring true for a lot of you is that maybe your person needed to take a break from work, or maybe your person's in between jobs, or it could be just simply that they're doing really good. They were getting, you know, they were getting things right and all of that. And then something emotional just kind of tore them away from being on that path. And now they're just feeling anxious about things. So building a bridge, you don't have to literally build a bridge for them, okay? But what they need to hear right now is that you see them and that they can get through this, okay? They also need to know that other people have crossed, you know, this bridge and gone from, you know, this point A, this like an island out here, and the point B, there's an island out here, and then there's a bridge right there in the middle. It's like other people have traveled back and forth across that bridge, you know, and that they are in the process of moving forward. They need to let go of this emotional burden, which they do want to let go of it. Nobody wants to sit around and focus on negativity, focus on sorrow, focus on what upsets them. Nobody wants to feel keyed up and unable to sleep and, you know, and all of that kind of stuff. They just need to know that they can get into a better place, okay? Might have to do with finances, might have to do with the material world. For example, your person might be an athlete that got, and then maybe they got injured, and now they're like, well, what do I do now that I got injured? You know, that kind of thing. It could be something like that, or it could be, you know, it could be something as simple as, okay, I was gonna go through my stuff to donate to charity, and oh, I just found something, you know, from my past that is really making me think hard. Now I don't know. Maybe I need to hold on to this. You know, it could be something like, you know, tells a story, okay? And it's going to be a story that's specific to your person. The idea behind the story, though, is that they were doing pretty good, and then now they have to reconsider how they're going to proceed forward. You can help by letting them know that they will get there, letting them know that you believe that they'll get there, letting them know that it's you know, these swinging bridges, they're so scary, and when you have anxiety with it too, it's like, gosh, you know, it's like sometimes it can be really scary to move from one place to another. In fact, it could be a literal move, but it's like, the in-between is what's scary. It's like having your feet firmly planted in one area is okay, even if the one area is negative, versus being kind of suspended in between two things, right? And I feel like they're kind of frozen on this bridge in between what happened and what will happen. And they don't feel like they have as much control over this situation as they do. So pointing out to them ways that they can control whatever their situation is would be very helpful. You know, and letting them know that, you know, you're there to help. You know, maybe what you need to tell them is that you've been there before and you've gotten through it. Or you can, you know, talk about, you know, well, how do you feel about this? What do you think about this? Because whatever it is they're stuck on, I mean, they've probably clued you in that they've got something that they've been thinking about, or they've got something from their past, or something that's going on in the now that is really distracting them, right? I don't think that you would be clued out of that. Okay, so another thing though is, if you don't know this, all you have to do is, like, what they need to hear is like, hey, you know, I'm just was thinking about you the other day, and I'm just wondering, you know, are you doing okay? Is everything okay in your life? Hopefully you're, you know, having a good, you know, you're having good days and stuff like that. You know, that could just open up the conversation to have, if they haven't shared this with you. But I believe that this is like one of those things that's very obvious and something that should, you know, come to mind. If it hasn't already, it should come to mind like within an hour of watching this, you know. But yeah, just give them, you know, let them know that they have some control. They have more control than they think. They have more resources than they think, because, you know, you've got this guy that's so distracted he's not looking at all the resources he has over here, and also that there is a way forward. It's kind of interesting because this is kind of like Wednesday's reading. There was one that was about finding a path, you know, and it seems like this is kind of a continuation on that same theme. So if you picked that one on Wednesday and you're getting this again, it's like just doubling down on that. If you didn't, no worries, okay? And they just need to know that they can get through whatever it is they're going through. Hi, pile number 5. Those of you who picked the red butterfly, we have the Two of Wands, Justice and Judgment. We've got Keep Dancing, and we have Broken Heart. Okay, so we've got a situation with this person. This is what's on their mind, okay? Well, let me explain. These 3 cards are answering the question. What does he or she need to hear right now, okay? This is like the energy surrounding this situation. And it's like, to let us know what's on their mind, what they're preoccupied with, and that kind of stuff. And the Keep Dancing is, we're talking about, this is the advice to you and the advice to them as far as how they can proceed forward and you know, all of that kind of stuff. So we've got somebody who wants to go somewhere. This person might be kind of worldly. You see them holding a globe. This can be a long-distance relationship indicator. I'm actually not getting that as strongly as I usually do when I'm reading for people who have a long-distance relationship. But given that, you know, this is somebody who might be traveling and that kind of stuff, and then we've got the Water and Judgment, like they might be traveling a great distance. You know, I just wanted to mention that. So we've got this person who needs to move forward and who's, you know, got a kind of an idea. They've already have a plan, okay, of what's going to happen. And what they need to hear is that everything's going to be fair, okay? Things can make sense in a situation. You know, there is a very clear way of I feel like the marriage between the head and the heart is a really important aspect right now for this person. They just need to know that they got this. They totally got this, okay? And they also need to know, and I know that I'm reading this very differently from the way it's meant to. I'm reading intuitively. They need to know that they're going to be accepted, that like they don't need to feel guilty, you know, for whatever it is that they want to do, that they're going to be accepted. That's okay. All right. I feel like this person is doing this. It's interesting because broken heart, sometimes this can come up and it's like, ooh, it's a big red flag. But I feel like in this particular card, we're talking about this person wants to mend a broken heart. They know they need to do it. They've already made the decision to do it. But there's something inside of them that they kind of feel is broken. You know, I know that putting it that way sounds so sad, but it's like they've identified something they want to change. They want to move on. They want to learn, you know, with this card, they want to learn. They want things to be fair and even, and, you know, they want to feel more balanced out. You know, they really have been having more down days and up days, you know, that kind of thing. And they just want things to be more balanced. And they, I feel like this person might have some either shame or guilt issues. And by that, I mean, maybe when they were little, maybe they were raised by a very strict parent or grandparent or whoever raised them. And now they feel, they might actually feel like there's something wrong about doing things for themselves, that kind of thing. And so when they start doing things for themselves, things that feel good, then they start feeling like, ooh, I'm doing something wrong. And it's just because of the person's experiences from childhood. You know, memories are so there's so much of an indicator of how a person's going to act. So many times people need to know and need to hear, okay, that, you know what, that's a memory. That's what happened then, but we're not there anymore. We're in the now. We're going to make new memories. We're going to change the situation, that kind of thing. So I really feel like they're already mindful of this, that they want to mend something inside of them that's inhibiting their ability to relate to other people. That's inhibiting their ability to give and receive love, okay? And then with the keep dancing, it's like, just keep things fun, okay? Try to keep things lighthearted. This person's, you know, very, I wouldn't be surprised if this person's very, like, almost robotic and very, like, serious all the time, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, they need to remember that they can laugh, you know, they can be kind of silly. So one thing you might want to do is be a little silly around them. It's almost like they kind of need that little quirky, they need some flavor in their life, you know, because they're just eating bland food constantly, you know. It might be functional, and it might, you know, it might do what, you know, what needs to be done, but it's just, it's not fun. It's like they need to feel like they're whole, okay? They need to start living like this is already mended. That is, you know, it's great. It's let them know that you totally see them as an individual, and that is so cool to you. I feel like for a lot of you, this person feels a little insecure about whatever quirks they have, or might even feel a little hesitant to act or to feel, because they really just, you know, they don't want to be weird, you know. Let them know that you like their individuality, you know. Highlight something that you like about them that's different, and then tell them how much you appreciate. It's like, not enough people do that, or not enough people think like you, and that kind of thing. And just build that self-esteem, you know. And yeah, this should be pretty easy. Your person might be actually physically relocating. Just know that I'm not getting anything from this that indicates that if this person's relocating, that they're not going to stay in touch with you, because it looks like they need you in their life. I mean, I'm not getting any kind of like departure as far as like I'm getting that you're going to play a very important role in this person's life, especially with this situation, okay? So no worries there either. All right, yeah, bring some silliness. Let them know that you see their individuality and you like it. And just support them, you know. Support their journey to mend their issues. All right. Hi, pile number 6, the green butterfly. Here is your reading. So the first 3 cards are going to be tarot cards that are going to be talking, you know, this is the answer to your situation, okay? So we have the Queen of Cups, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, and we've got the 3 of Swords. This is actually very fortuitous. So just give me a minute while I go on to the next one. We have You Are Not Afraid, okay? And we've got attachment. So You Are Not Afraid is supposed to be basically the summary of what they need to hear from you, or what they need to know, what they need to believe, okay? And attachment, this particular card is talking about the energy, the internal energy inside of them, what they're thinking, what they're feeling about, what's going on, you know, or maybe the underlying cause of their issue, okay? So let's start over here. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Cups. So this person, I feel like this person feels, you know, regardless if you're male or female, it doesn't matter. The Queen of Cups represents a very nurturing person, somebody who is able to be emotionally reciprocal to this person, and also emotionally open. I feel like this person actually feels more comfortable about sharing their emotions with you than they do with other people. So if your person seems kind of like reluctant to show emotions, know that they're actually showing a lot more than they're used to, you know, or you're somebody who they could do that with, you know. But we've got, it's like the timing's wrong right now. We've kind of caught them at a time where they've got something serious that they've got to fix, you know. And it's like they know, they don't need to know it's going to be okay or that they're capable or anything like that. That's not what they need to know, because they already recognize that life kind of comes in ups and downs, and that it's just a cycle, and this will be okay. What they need to know, though, is that in order to move past it, it's okay to let go of what's not serving them anymore, or it's okay to let go of maybe some behaviors. I feel like this person needs to, it's like they feel like, I feel like there's a person in this person's life, this is going to be true for most of you guys, that is kind of overbearing. It could be a parent, it could be a boss, it could be a sibling, a cousin, anybody. And it's like they feel like this person is so much bigger than them and has a lot of control over them, and this person's hurt them. But they're still kind of attached to that situation, and it's like they're in a situation that they know isn't healthy, and because of your emotional receptivity and their acknowledgement that things are, sometimes when things are bad, they know that things are still going to be able to be positive. Eventually, they're eventually going to get out of it. They do trust that, and I feel like if they need a plan in order to get out of it, they already have the plan, and all of that. I feel like right now they just need to attach to something else, which would be you, which would be expressing their feelings, so they're not feeling so small. Help build them up. What they need to hear is that they are, that you really appreciate them, that they really help you understand things on a completely different level, that you are able to really feel your feelings when you're around the person and it's not scary, that kind of thing. Basically, they need to know that you feel comfortable with feelings around them, and because of that, then they won't feel so afraid, and they'll be able to feel comfortable with their feelings around you. And this kind of attachment thing here, I feel like it's another person. For some of you guys, it'll just be an idea. Maybe the person's just, I don't know, maybe they do a lot of escapist kind of activities, maybe play video games all the time, maybe they're addicted to their phone, that kind of thing. And they just need to detach from that. Whatever it is, though, it's keeping them in the fog. It's just not helpful for them at all. And I feel like it's kind of like something that's connected to an issue that has to do with a previous, I don't even think it's a romantic relationship. It might be, but I feel like it's just there was a relationship, or there is a relationship that's big, that feels bigger than them, that they need to kind of detach from. So what do they need to hear from you? They need to hear that you feel comfortable with your emotions. They also need to hear from you that not only that you have healthy boundaries, but also they need to be taught how to set healthy boundaries, with other people. For example, a very common example of boundary is when somebody's infringing on your time all the time. It's like, ooh, I like to talk to you, but I just can't talk to you every day. I'm really busy and all of that. How about we touch base for about 15 minutes, on the weekend, and just go from there, right? And it's like that, setting a boundary that, I can't talk to, I'm not going to answer the phone if you call me and it's not the weekend. And if you call me on the weekend, then I'll only answer once. And after that, I'm not going to talk to you again because I can only talk to you once on the weekend. That doesn't, that doesn't have to be your particular situation. It's just, when people, a lot of people allow other people to kind of walk all over them and to kind of take advantage of them and things like that, especially empathetic people. And this lets me know that you're probably very empathetic. You're probably feel bombarded by other people's energy all the time. Even if it's not on an emotional level, it's like you just feel what other people are thinking or feeling, but it's not even necessarily real clear. It might be for some of you, but it's like this vague, almost like aura, and it's like exhausting. And I just feel like, from your experience of learning how to distance yourself from those people, or from your experience of knowing, okay, I need to solve this problem. How am I going to solve it? You can help them solve their problem. All right. So they need to learn how to be assertive, how to set boundaries, and they also need to know that it's okay to distance themselves from, you know, whatever situation that they're in. Like I said, it's probably a person. It could be something else though. Like, maybe it's like a job, or maybe they took on a task a long time ago and now it just doesn't work for them anymore, but they still feel attached to it. But it's bigger than them. This is really interesting because it says you are not afraid already. It's like it's already in the now that you're not afraid. I think that it's important that they're not doing this because they're afraid. They're doing it because they actually feel like they can't control the situation, basically. There was another reading that was a little bit similar earlier in this particular video, but this "you're not afraid" thing, it's more about feeling like something's bigger than them, but in reality it's not. Okay, so yeah, they totally got this. You're comfortable with your emotions around them, and hey, here's some advice on how to set healthy boundaries. If you don't know advice on how to set healthy boundaries, go ahead and Google it. It'll be really easy to find a lot of resources on that. Okay, so that said, you totally got this. Right. So, thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you didn't hear earlier on in the video, I am kind of experimenting with different times to post these, but I think starting on Monday, or at least by next Wednesday, we're going to be posting videos at the same time every day. So, just know it will be regular very shortly. That said, I appreciate every single one of you. I am so happy and I feel so great with the awesome reception you guys have given me, and I am so excited about this year for the channel and for all the stuff that I'm going to be offering you guys. It's just really exciting for me. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you guys are too. I will see you on Monday in our next free pick a card reading.